I want to back up just a little bit. The whole point of the foam board, airplanes, rcplans.com, flight test. Here's my point. Get your kids involved. Get somebody else involved. Aviation is so much fun. It's been a lifelong venture and adventure for me. I cannot tell you when I first fell in love with airplanes. I know by 4 years old, I remember dragging my dad outside when an airplane would fly over. And so I'm gonna get these videos backwards here a little bit. Today I am working on a radio controlled flight test style airplane. It's called the Fantastic Canard. And so here's the deal. We're going camping this weekend and we're going out to the lake. It's going to be more of a family affair, friends and family. So we're not really, we're not going out there to go boating. We're not going out there to go fishing. We're going out there so the kids can hang out with each other and the adults can sit around and talk and have fun. But so at the same time, I thought, let's see if we have time. I only have a few days to put this together, and I love these videos online where they make these airplanes in like an hour, and I've come to realize that they edit out so much of those videos that it's just practically ridiculous. So I apologize. Here we are at my kitchen table again. A lot of times during the day, this is my workspace, and my house is an ongoing project. So so we're gonna start here. I have a little pile of pieces here. The fuselage is mostly done. We're gonna come back to the fuselage in a little bit. But I just thought I would talk about something here. So this is a Canard. This has forward swept wings. Okay, this is going to be a flaperon. So it's a combination of flaps on the inboard side. Aileron is going to is the outboard side. But the whole surface moves at the same time. So if you put a mixer, they call it a mixer in here, you can either run both sides down to make flaps, or you can operate them up and down individually as ailerons in flight. So, what the mixer does is still allows you to have ailerons while the flaps are down, so you can steer the airplane for landing. So even though the flaps are down, you'll be able to operate, each one independently to adjust wings level as you come in for a landing. So my wings are going to be black. This is the 5mm foam board from not Family Dollar, Dollar General store. They're the ones that carry foam board. I wish Family General or Family Dollar did, but they don't carry it. So sorry. I'd love to be able to give them a plug and say, hey, thanks for carrying this, but they don't have it. Look at that flaperon back on my template. So this white wing right here is just a template. So, if you make a foam airplane, it's going to get wrecked eventually, and it would be nice to have some spare parts. So what I have done is, for every piece that I have made, every piece that I cut out, I made a duplicate of it. And so in order to, you print out the plans on paper. That's what all this stuff is. You print out the plans on paper and then stick the paper onto your foam board and cut it out. Okay, that gives you the part. But if you need a replacement part, you don't want to have to go print out the plans and then, that's a lot of work. especially if you're out at a lake, what are you going to do, right? So I'm actually going to make probably for the most part, a second airplane and take it along just in a bag of parts. So if we need anything out there, we could, swap it out. We'll have electricity out there, so it's pretty easy to take a hot glue gun with you, and just for fun, you can cut it out. Okay, so that being said, so here's the template for the right wing. The red lines are score lines. You score the paper on the top side, and you score all the way through the foam. You just don't want to cut the paper on the bottom side. And what that lets you do then is bend the wing. It'll break along these score lines, these red score lines. You can basically you break the foam line there, and you can bend this wing to give it an airfoil profile. So I'm going to flip this over, and what I want you to see is I have the exact same thing duplicated on the other side, but this would be the left wing. So if we turn it around, then you have the left wing, forward swept wing, and I drew everything out on it. So these templates I have made for every part of the airplane, and what I'm going to do is either put them in a long skinny box, or I don't know, or something. I'll find a box. I think I'd rather have a box because a box is stackable. I'll probably just make a little really thin cardboard box, like an airplane box, and I'll put all these template pieces in there and save them for the future. So, or who knows, if I get tired of it someday, I could just sell my box of template parts, because let me tell you, there's hours of work into making these template parts. Many hours of work go into making them. But if you have that wing template like that, I can cut out this. I can draw this wing out on a piece of foam board and have it cut out and ready to go in just a few minutes. So that template saves me that much time. Okay, so real quick here, this is the actual left-hand wing for the airplane. Okay, I'm gonna try to show you that it does have some profile to it. It is a curved wing. I think you can see that. I just glue radio controlled airplane hinges. I have bags of those plastic RC plane hinges. So you just cut the center line of the foam, and you stick the hinge in there with some hot glue, and there you go. So this flaperon is actually glued into place. It's ready to go. So like I said, this is the left-hand wing. There's a wing box here, which is part of the templates. Okay, and that box is what is setting the wing profile. And then you can see it's hot glued. So there's 3 of these vertical upright pieces, and each wing slides over 1.5 of them. It's not glued to the center one quite yet, so that's why. Okay, so now so this should be sitting about like that, but since it's not glued, it won't stay there. But anyhow, so now I'll put the other wing on. I'll hot glue it onto here, and I'll put a line of hot glue into there, and I'll stick the other wing on here. And then what we'll have is, then we'll have a one-piece wing with the center wing box. Okay, so the wing is attached to this wing box. Okay, you can see that. And then this box, so basically then you have some skewers that go, skewers will go through this wing box, through the sides, and you'll basically rubber band it to the fuselage. And that's how many radio controlled airplanes work. I could possibly glue some tabs on it somewhere, or even 3D print maybe some kind of a tab that I could use and then just screw it on instead of rubber band. Because I don't know how much you trust rubber bands, but I have a little bit of a struggle trusting them because I have broken so many of them. So anyhow, okay, I wanted you to be able to see that the wing does have a profile, and it's only made possible because of the score lines that you put on the wing. And you know, there's no instructions with this airplane. There's none. It's actually, it comes from rcplans.com. Not planes, it's just RC Plans, because there's plans on there for, you know, Star Wars vehicles or cars and trucks and whatever you want to make. You know, there's plans on there. Really fun. You should go check out rcplans.com, because there's some great stuff on there that you can make for yourself or make them with your kids. You know, whatever. Have fun with this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna grab the fuselage real quick. Hold on. Okay, here's the fuselage itself. Okay, now the rubber bands here are only holding on the top cover that covers up the motor and the batteries and the servos and everything. Because the wing itself, the wing box goes clear back here in the tail, part of the empennage almost. Okay, so that's where the wing box goes in. And it seems funny, but here's where the canard goes in the front up here. So it seems funny to put the wing in the back of the airplane. Even to me, that seems a little odd. So this, oops, are you on? There you are. Okay. So that wing that I showed you, that wing goes to this airplane right here. If I can set it on there. Canard supports. So this is a little Canard, like a Rutan Long Easy style airplane. And it's it's cut out of foam board. And I started doing a video for you guys on how to make these airplanes. They're pretty easy to make. But that being said, they're easy to make, and it's also easy to make to put problems into them while you're building them. Which I love the style of this airplane. I really do. I love the Canards. And so anyhow, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and convert this into a 3D printed airplane. That way the vertical stabilizer is straight with the fuselage, which it's not on this one. The canard on the front will, you know, when you 3D print things and make a mirror image, you know, when you design it, you design one side and then you mirror image it, and to create the other side so they're exactly perfect. And that's pretty hard to replicate when you're cutting these out of foam board. So anyhow, that being said, go to Flight Test. If you've never gotten on YouTube or just Google Flight Test and look at all the airplanes that those guys cut out of foam board and fly. They don't need to be perfect. They don't have to be perfect at all. They make some great airplanes that fly really well. And so that's what this airplane started out as. Hey, okay, sorry about the way the video ended on the Canard. The Canard is a work in progress. Let's call it that. So I love the design. I'm gonna work on it a little bit. I don't think I mentioned in the video, but I am tempted to 3D print just the fuselage, just to make sure that the fuselage and the vertical stabilizer, make sure that everything is square on the airplane. And let's see, what else? That's all I can think of. Anyhow, stay tuned on the Canard. There's a lot more I want to do with that airplane. A 3D printed foam board hybrid, might be kind of fun, and I'll take you along with me on that journey. But I want to back up just a little bit. The whole point of the foam board, airplanes, rcplans.com, flight test. Here's my point. Get your kids involved. Get somebody else involved. Aviation is so much fun. It's been a lifelong venture and adventure for me. I cannot tell you when I first fell in love with airplanes. I know by 4 years old, I remember dragging my dad outside when an airplane would fly over, and those were great memories. And so I have stayed with aviation my whole life, and get somebody else involved. There are so many flight test airplanes. You don't even need radio equipment. You can make some really nice just hand thrown gliders, hand thrown airplanes. You can set them up with a little bit of a turn built into them. Hey, I'm really good at that. And you can make an airplane that you can basically stand on a very small knoll or a hill, and you can hand launch them, and they will go out and turn a circle, and basically like a boomerang, they'll come right back to you. And for kids, that is so much fun. They enjoy that so much. And then your older kids, get them involved in a 2-channel, 3-channel radio controlled airplane, and they'll be hooked. They'll be hooked for life. Aviation is a blast. It's a great field to be in. So there you go. My plug for aviation. I promote it every chance I get. I love to see young people get involved in it. And my daughter told me last night that she wants some pilot pajamas. So there you go. I don't know how that's going to work out on my shopping list, but we'll find out. Okay. Thank you. We'll see you soon. I appreciate you joining me. And my videos are not wild, crazy, $1 million videos. Hey, it's just me pursuing the things that I love. So if you have stayed this long, I really commend you. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Okay. See you soon. Bye.